Hey, good morning, everybody. BDF44 here, coming at you with another video. All right, so I wanted to react to what I saw from the Chicago Bulls versus the New York Knicks highlights that I was able to see. Um, to be honest with you guys, what really was exposed there, for one, Zach LaVine playing through that thumb injury kind of affected him defensively. Some of the highlights that I saw, he was trying to avoid contact with that hand. Not so much on dunks and shooting and things like that, but more so how he was defending people. I felt like there were instances that I was able to see where he kind of became a little bit timid, trying to guard against that hand. I thought it hurt the team a little bit, but who knows to what degree? Because of course highlights don't tell me a whole lot. I did see a whole lot of good from um, Alex Caruso. His playmaking and vision has been very much on display on this team. Everything that he really does very well seems to complement the rest of the squad. Zoe, the same thing. Um, DeMar DeRozan getting involved, being effective, though down the stretch of the game, it really came down to a one shot. They were down three, they needed a shot, and DeMar DeRozan was kind of covered in the corner, forced a shot, did not go. Zach was open at the top of the key at the 3-point line because the defense had crowded on DeRozan. This is the thing. As we go forward, we start to see certain prospects come into this game. The evolution of the prospects that we're seeing, most of the young, talented players that are coming into this league right now, I think they make that pass. I think what we're seeing is a infusion of players whose IQ and ability in passing the ball and being able to use the pass effectively and make better decisions sooner. I think we're just seeing a higher quality in that regard come in with these young players. Um, you're seeing less forcing of things. You're seeing less, uh, you know, letting people crowd you out, and just trying to force shots, low IQ stuff. DeMar DeRozan, I can't tell you that he could have or couldn't have made the pass, but I can tell you the ball does need to move on that last possession. Forcing that shot, I know that's something he's used to doing. He's played for the Toronto Raptors as an A1 for many years, so he's expected to take certain shots. But on this team, he's going to be the number 3, number 4 option. I need Zach LaVine to have the ball in his hands at the top of the key, or if it ain't him, it needs to be Vucevic on this particular roster. Now, if you're open, cool, you're taking that shot. But on this roster, these group of guys, uh, the opportunity was missed to get the best shot for the A1 players on the team. And that's just something you don't want if you're the Chicago Bulls. You don't want guys um, taking it upon themselves to do things that maybe aren't what's best. And while I'm not sure that's what DeMar did, what I can tell you is that he took a contested shot that probably was very, very low in probability in terms of whether or not it's going to go in. Down the stretch, when the A1 guys at the top of the key ready for the ball to come to his hands, that just can't happen. That just cannot happen. So while if this were the Toronto Raptors back a couple years back, I'd say if he wants to force that shot, it's cool. But that's not his role on this team, and that's something that he's going to have to really embrace. He's going to have to embrace that. Not to say that he shouldn't take any clutch shots or that, in certain instances, what he did wasn't the right move. But in this particular instance, this matchup, very, very close game against a team you're probably going to see in the playoffs, you do not want to just be forcing some contested shot, some hero ball stuff. It's just not what you need. You need to be able to get the best possible shot with the best possible player taking that shot if possible. So that's what I had to say there. I just didn't like how that was executed down the stretch. But all in all, you got to give credit to the New York Knicks. What I saw was Julius Randle taking advantage of a size mismatch that was available to him repeatedly. It's going to be upon Patrick Williams when he gets healthy, 100% ready to go, to take on those types of matchups, because they don't really have the player in place that can really take on the Julius Randles, the Zion Williamsons, and some of those big guys, the Giannis Antetokounmpos, who are going to be coming at them at that position with that size. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's what they're missing. They're going to need that guy. And, like I said, I like Vucevic because of all of the great things that he's able to do. And he's nothing short of a star in this league. But I just don't know that he has the foot speed defensively and in the fast break to really keep up with what his team is going to be asking him to do. And most importantly, with some of his injury issues, I do wonder if he's going to be there when they need him most. And that's why I think they maybe should be considering shopping him. He has a lot of value. He's a great player. They just signed him to a big deal, so I know they're not going to be shipping him out willingly. But I just look at the fit that they have, and I just don't know that he's the best fit. Now, that doesn't mean he can't shine, because he certainly does. But the fact of the matter is, and I said this before, they just need somebody who's going to be faster. They're going to need somebody who's going to be able to be more defensive minded, because they really, really don't have the size. See, when you look at a team like Miami, I'm concerned about them in that same regard. I look at a team like Phoenix, I'm concerned about them in that same regard. But what don't they have the problem with? The size that they do have is a guy who can be athletic and a guy who can play defense. Both of those teams have that. Ayton and Bam, respectively. So even though they don't have the power forward in place that I think will help them, if they need to, they have at least somebody who's elite, who they can put on a Julius Randle, who they can put on a Zion, etc. The Bulls don't have that right now, and I'm not sure where they're going to find it. Like I said, Patrick Williams is going to be tasked with doing that, but I think he's a little light in the pocket right now. He's a little too small to be asked to do those things at this stage, and I don't know that he'll ever be big enough to have those assignments. So the Bulls, as talented as they are, and they really are a fantastic basketball team, make no mistake about it. But I think when they come up against a team like New York, they're going to get bounced. They go up against a team like Atlanta, they're going to have problems, because guys like Clint Capella and all that size that they're going to be giving them, with guys like, everybody on the team, essentially. They have a lot of forwards, basically, without naming them all off. So I just think that's going to be a continuous theme. You look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, they obviously are coming through with those Twin Towers. You look at the Orlando Magic, they're coming through with Twin Towers in Bamba and Carter. So you just got to respect it. You go to Philadelphia, you look, and they got Embiid obviously in place, and Tobias Harris is also very big, and they got some guys. So yeah, that's going to be the thing for the New York Knicks. Who on that team is going to guard those particular type of players? And will Vucevic be able to do it for him? And the answer is absolutely not. That's not his game. He's offensive, and he's very good offensively. In fact, he's great offensively, but that's not the only thing that the Bulls are going to need when the playoffs hit. They're going to need that guy, that Robert Williams III, that Clint Capella type player, to ultimately play some defense. And they're a good defensive team. It's not like the Bulls don't have defensive players, just not at the positions they need. Not in that position. So that's what I saw, man. That's what I saw. Julius was taking advantage of that, man. He was able to find himself being guarded by Lonzo in the block, stuff like that. I mean, you don't want that come playoff time, y'all. Not at all. So, yeah, I just want to come here and say that. All in all, I'm seeing a lot of great things. Evan Fournier is shooting lights out to start this season. The way he's shooting right now, you think he's Evan Allen, Ray Allen. That's who he's looking like right now in that Knicks system. And it's all just coming together. Kemba Walker's looks right at home. He and Derrick Rose are going to keep each other healthy, keep each other's careers going strong with that organization. I think, you don't have a superstar level guard today, but if you combine Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose, you got an all-star point guard today. Put them together, you got one. So that's how I look at it. And I look at quickly, what he's going to be one day as well. And they also picked up a defensive guard that I really like. I can't think of homie's name right now, but he was drafted this year. Be on the lookout for him. He's going to start getting minutes at some point, and when he does, he locks people up. So the New York Knicks were a good defensive team last year, and they picked up a fantastic defensive prospect on top of that. And mind you this, when I made my New York Knicks video, the one thing that was kind of keeping me from being all on board with the Knicks was the fact that I didn't think that Mitchell Robinson was going to be playing much this season. I thought he was going to be still dealing with that leg. He's back. He's gained a lot of weight. He's looking great. He's blocking shots. He changes everything, because now their roster falls into place. They're not relying as much on Nerlens Noel for those type of things. And look out, if he's playing at this level all season long, he's going to dictate a lot of what happens for the New York Knicks, because regardless if the offense is going as it should, which I expect it to, with all the offensive talent that they also have those big bodies that are not going to be looked at to play defense like Julius Randle and Obi Toppin, because they have this guy in place blocking shots and doing all the things that he does that they would otherwise be exerting too much energy to do while keeping up with their offensive responsibilities. So I love how things are falling into place for the New York Knicks based on the health that they have going on. Everybody seems to be pretty healthy. If they can stay that way, I don't know how far they can go. The East is so loaded. There's so many teams that I think are really, really, really talented. But I tell you this, they have the size in place to keep them above water against some of these huge teams. And there's a lot of them. So I like the Knicks, and the more healthy they stay, uh, the better I think their chances will be. So that's what I wanted to say, man. Um, yeah, both of those teams are very good, though. They're going to be duking it out. It's just like the old 90s days. Bulls and Knicks have good teams, and they're going to give us great playoff performances if they match up. I can tell you right now, it's going to be a fun playoff when they come around. So look out for that. And yeah, that's what I got, man. In the meantime, I'm going to go back, watch some more highlights, tell you what I see there as the day progresses. Getting closer to the Lakers. I believe we have another matchup coming up, if not today and tomorrow. So I'll be talking about my squad as well, kind of digging in on what we need to do to try to cut down on some of these turnovers. But yeah, that's what I got, man. My name is BDL44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.